die for you. TGIT, thank God it's Thursday. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon, and you're welcome to Entertainment TV live on Metro TV. Within the next hour, it's total entertainment and interesting discussion, so make sure you are tuned in. We are live on DSTV channel 277, live on Facebook and YouTube, Metro TV Ghana. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Metro TV_GH. My name is Nanaya Tano Abuache, and I'm doing this with Helen Anyeweja, Helen K, and also the Swan Okreko dance. So, good afternoon.
Yep. It's Thursday, getting close to Friday, which is a very important day to all of us, because the weekend will just we'll be here and we'll just have some fun. But you're welcome to the show as always. We're here to talk entertainment, and today we've got some interesting conversations coming up on the show. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on that conversation. So just stick and stay with us. We are live on DSTV channel 277 and also on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana. So we'll get into our conversations, and Anaya, there's a lady who's joined us. This is going to be her second time?
Yeah, this is going to be her second time, yeah. And also we have a saxophonist also joining us for the first time.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about those things, and including, networking. You speak to artists, and some artists really don't like going out. I don't know if Asi is one of them, going to, these launches and, parties and all of the things like that. So we'll get to understand from them their personalities and how it affects their, their music business and what really they're doing. So as she said, we've got Asi in the building. She is a neo-soul singer, amazing songstress. We had her acoustic performance there earlier before we began. And also Ekow Saxx is here with us. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, you're welcome.
So your voice is down. Why? What happened?
Just tired.
Why?
She's been singing her lungs out. So.
Yeah. Why are you tired? Stuff.
Yeah.
The studio.
And everything. Just working on a project and stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting.
Getting my groove back.
You're getting?
I'm getting my groove back.
I believe you. Ekow.
Hi.
It's good to have you.
Good to be here.
See you for the first time. I mean, I watched one of your performances with my very own favorite Mr. Music Man, Kojo Entry. And I must say you did amazing with, this song, Minyan Taban. Would you do that before you go?
I wish I could.
But I want viewers to actually understand what I'm trying to say. That he's good, he's amazing. And I wish every live performer would do what you did for Kojo Entry. But then, today we'll be talking about, does networking contribute to the success of a musician? And first off, it's funny though, but in our parts of the world, I'm asking the two of you, in our parts of the world, people feel networking is the new-ish. Without networking, an artist or a performer cannot really survive in the music industry. Do you agree with that? Or what's your thoughts about that particular perception? Rita.
I think it's important, depending on the stage you are in your career. I think obviously music is a very sharing thing. So it's like your success is dependent on how many people are listening to your music, how many fans are consuming it daily, your playback value.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a people factor. So I think, yes, networking is important until you get to a stage where you know that you've convinced almost everybody and people are networking on your behalf, So I think it's crucial at a particular stage of your career.
Okay. Ekow, do you think in our part of the world, without it, an artist cannot thrive or succeed?
Well, I think that it's very, very important for everybody to network, not only musicians, but because, listen, every leader needs a follower.
Yeah.
And for music and people in the music industry, we need audience.
Yeah.
We can write music for ourselves, but you can't perform for yourself.
Yeah.
maybe when you're in the bathroom, maybe Asi can contest it. I'm sure she sings to herself once in a while. But then you need these audience because they are your market base.
Yeah.
So first of all, before you get that gift inside you for the world to listen and to hear you, you need people, and you can get it through networking. So I think that is not something we should even give a second thought to. It's right.
It's a must.
It's a must.
I mean, I want to know in the first place, how do you describe yourselves? Because how you perceive yourself or your persona, that may determine whether if there are events you're going to go out, meet new people, or you be that one person that you want to be. Whether there's something going on, even at work shows you may not want to go, you just be in your room and think like, okay, you'll be watching others. Remember, we have Flo Kingston here, and he was saying that his brothers, Ochame Kwame and Kunta, like that, they're outside, they're everywhere, they'll be moving to people.
Yeah.
But him will be like, okay, in the corner. Asi and Ekow, how do you describe yourselves?
Okay, so I don't go out a lot. So, but I think that there's just some things where if you have a goal or there's something you want to achieve, you get out of your comfort zone a bit. So it's like, yes, sometimes it's necessary that you go for certain events, especially when you have a goal. You might not like it, but if there's an end to a means, you would adjust yourself and you do it. Like if it was left up to me, I'll just always be in my room and then just post if you want to. Yeah, but it's like there's a goal, there's something I want, there's a crowd I want to get, there's people that I want to hear my music. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go out. At the end of the day, you also you feel good. It's like people are actually like connecting to your music and everything. So you just learn to dabble it and then just adjust yourself as you're going.
How often do you step out?
I don't step out a lot, but nowadays I'm trying. Like, I'm so proud of myself. I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Okay. Ekow, what's about you?
Some of us, I cherish sleep and rest. I really do cherish sleep and rest. But unfortunately, people like myself, we hardly get time to rest. So usually, your daytime is my kind of nighttime.
Okay.
So I'm always outside. I think maybe almost every day.
Okay.
Yeah, and it depends because sometimes there are specific days that I have no other thing to do because I have a constant place that I'm supposed to be at. But then as and when sometimes you get certain events and then you would have to show your face, and then even sometimes certain programs that you are not even supposed to play, but you just have to be there to network.
Yeah.
You might never know, maybe your next, your next client is going to be sitting by you next to the table there. So we try to do our best. It's not easy because sometimes, look, Charlie, you want to sleep, you want to rest, you want to be like every ordinary person, but
it's not
calling.
You chose this path. So you chose it.
After being around for a while, would you say that you have been able to build some connections and some relationships that would potentially help you in your career?
Oh yes, I'm very glad for some of the places that I've been to, and even the places I wasn't invited and I ended up going, because you go there and then people be like, oh, I think I know this face. Okay, so, oh, hi, my name is Ekow Saxx. I'm a saxophonist. Oh, so you did Melissa, you did this, you did that, Then it starts from there. So somebody wants to be like, oh, since you played on somebody's song, can I get you to also play on my artist's song? Yeah. So it's very beneficial, And sometimes it's not only about the music industry. Maybe there's a clothing brand that sees you and be like, oh, I like your outfit. Can we style you? Something like that. So it's always beneficial. But I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes you go out and then you regret because because you feel like there are certain times I personally go to certain spaces and I feel like I'm not welcomed in the space. But then I have a motive for being there. So I just blare everybody out in the background and then I'm just there for my own purpose. Right after that, I go. So.
There's a question that I want to ask about. I mean, you're relatively young in the industry. Which people have you met in our industry? I don't want to say I don't want to mention those who are not cool to approach. That one, it will cause trouble. But those that you really felt comfortable talking to them and they received you well, I mean, it could be musicians, it could be DJs, presenters, like anybody that like you talk to and you feel like, okay, this guy is really cool.
Asi, very, very cool.
Which
Asi?
Oh.
It's very, very cool, like very chill. Joey B too, very chill. It's like they were just really, oh hey, they like yeah. Everybody's like, oh I listen to your music, oh cool stuff, and they're really ordinary people, so it's like everybody's
like
just,
in your space, we are all the same class, so like.
no, but it's like I feel like with artists when you're creating and like they meet someone who's creating, like we just connect. Like even me and Ekow, we have like songs together. Like Ekow has been on almost like 2 of my projects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's really out of networking.
Okay, so you guys know each other
We
already.
already know each other.
You see, the industry is a small
No,
space.
like, and it was really out of networking. It was like he didn't have to come for my live, chapter V live, but he was there throughout, and it was just because. And we even have a song together, and it's still out of networking. So it's like, so it's like
just a small world.
So I think it's really
that networking is really helping.
It's really helping. It's really helping.
But then since some people are laid back, they wouldn't really want to. Like you were saying that initially you wouldn't want to go out there. You always want to be indoors.
I think maybe it's because
they don't know, or they don't really know that networking can actually help them in their career.
I think some artists. It depends on your goals.
Okay.
You know, and it's like, I think that's something that I'm learning, that people just, maybe my definition of success might be different from the next person. And the person might be okay just saying that. I know there's artists that don't have social medias in Europe, but have crazy Spotify numbers and it's working out for them. You know, so it's like, I think it's just, there's grace with those certain people, but it's like, there's just some people, they're like, hey, I don't want to talk to anybody, and there's some mystique to it. I think for a really long time, we didn't know how the weekend looked like before he started.
Yeah,
I don't like. I feel like that was also something too. So
part of his
brand.
His brand.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like how you also own it. You know, I could also find a way to manage my introverted nature and then just make it a vibe
Which
and
is
go
something
like.
we are praying for.
Yeah.
I personally am praying for.
Yeah,
She's on my prayer topic.
Okay. Very
She's
interesting. She's an introvert.
She's been lost for how many months now?
I was doing my
How many
final
months now?
my final exam, so I was just like.
Oh, but
now you're
people
done.
do school music
Yeah,
together.
but you see,
they're
we're
done.
all different. We're all different,
Okay.
and it's like for me, I have to focus. I can't do too many things at once. Know that
At the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
you know. So it's like I was like, hey, this thing. If you go inside, then it's like okay, from one studio session to another. And Ekow, you know how it is like. Once you play over here, then. The next two
You're
people
good, the
go
next
like,
person calls you.
oh,
Yeah.
I need this verse. Then it's like back to back to back. It doesn't stop. So it's
Yeah.
like for me, I had to take that discipline and know that hey, my education was important. I want to pass, and this is like I already took a gap year. So it's like you now have to convince your parents you're going to pass and pass well.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, I was gambling with that. So it's like for me, I had to make peace with it. Everybody that was asking me, oh, Asi, aren't you dropping music? I'm just like, you don't know what I am going through, you know?
Interesting.
And then it's like, you just deal with it. So I think you can find a way to balance you can make a mistake out of it. Haven't I released?
But from all that you're saying, the networking is good for you, it's good for him. Do you see the Ghana music industry as a collective environment for all artists to benefit from networking? Do you see the industry as a collective environment?
First of all, I would want to say cautiously that the Ghana music industry is true as a collective industry, but then cautiously, the boundaries or the borders are thin in the sense that we lack a lot of proper structure. I stand to be corrected though.
Yeah.
The people in the music industry have been doing a lot to make it be at where it is today. And I think that if more, if more care is taken, if more and proper structures are put in place, and everybody goes by the book, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a year or 2 years or 5 years.
True.
But then over the years, it's going to be an environment every individual would want to be in. Because it's not that we don't have the basics. We do. We have people with experiences. We have when it comes to production aspect, we have people with experiences, creativity, like a whole lot. We don't lack anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just a proper structure that we need. And as I mentioned before, the people in the industry, some of them are, should I say, most of them are really trying hard to make a good name for Ghana out there. But we don't have to forget about our home.
Yeah.
You know, because now it's because of the structure that we have, which doesn't seem to be very beneficial to the artists. That's why now everybody wants to look outside. So to the world. But, you know, we need to start from home.
I haven't conquered Ghana yet.
But then again, you know, sometimes talking about networking and all that, you have people go out, they'll try to, you know, get the network, get the connections. But then recently, a musician was talking about gatekeepers and all that. So, you know, they get everything right. But then there are some people in the industry that somehow wouldn't help you in a way. Like, you know, you even, someone out there, you have done all your connections and all that, and then someone comes to, you know, want to do something with you. And then someone out there says, no, I don't think this is the right person. I think there's another person you should work. What do you think about that? We're talking about structures and all that, but do you think that is
matter,
the way? Right.
it's a broad thing that we need to be very, very cautious of.
Right.
I feel like everybody feels they deserve where they are. You know, you feel like where you are sitting now, you've earned it.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people get to you, before they can pass through you, you want to scrutinize them a bit. You want to make things a bit difficult for them, which is not always necessary. True. I mean, when you allow people to follow procedure and structure, they wouldn't have to come back or go through the back routes to get things done. Yeah. You get it? And with the issue of industry gatekeepers, it's now becoming a matter on social media a lot, because sometimes you see artists tweet, oh, Charlie, I'm trying to be on this show, but then they never allowed me to be on it. It's not that they didn't allow him. Maybe the gatekeeper, you are not his or her favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
And he also has people that he feels like, oh, now that maybe I'm a TV presenter, I have this friend who's an artist. I would want to support him. I would want to put him on. So let me rather use all my, use all my benefits for that person. Meanwhile, maybe it's not the time for that person yet.
So there's favoritism in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Interesting.
No, but I think the music business generally, from what I've observed, you can't labor without favor. Like, I think that's what it is.
It has to be part.
No, you have to, like, even if you're as logical as I am, there's a favor backing, if you call it divine, where it's like this person must like you and you can't control it. You have to, like, there's something universal about it I have to accept. So it's like you get to the point where it's like, okay, cool. Yes, I'm doing checking all my boxes. I'm doing all the hard work.
Okay.
If it's networking, if it's radio interviews, I am doing it, Then there's the favor factor, where it's like, as much as people who logically don't understand that, it's like, okay, you even liking me or you even not being in a good mood that day, making sure that the interview goes well is something that I have to think about, because there's a lot of personalities and things you can't control, you know. So it's like with that bit of it, I think that's how every artist should approach it. Like, there's labor and then there's favor. Yeah. You know, but you have to find a way to
balance it. But the favor can come in. But from what Ekow was saying, I will pick it from, if the structures are there, no artist will really need the help of a gatekeeper. If the structures are well placed, I mean, right now.
And what does the structures look like for Ekow? Like,
no, for Ekow, I wouldn't answer that for Ekow.
No, for Ekow, like, what does the structures look like for you? Like, if you were supposed to line it up.
No, I mean,
you've been in here for longer than I have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go into details to that. I believe that the structures, as we all know, assuming me being an artist, a saxophonist, right?
Yeah.
I need to be heard, I need to be seen.
Yes.
You get it? Now, me being heard of, me being seen, has procedures.
True.
Which means that I have to be on radio and TV. I have to be at events.
Yeah.
What if I go to an event and I say, oh, I'm a saxophonist, I would want to do this or that. But then the person already feels like, oh, I mean, just before that, I once went to a wedding and then they were like, hey, now, Obi Oba wedding, you shut up as the groom. And
interesting.
So it's like, somebody will see them and be like, oh, Ekow Yoba, he's going to give you problems. Exactly. People just dislike people for no reason.
That's really not healthy.
Well,
that's really not healthy. I get what Ekow saying, and I get what you are also saying. But then, in terms of the networking, we see other regions. I wouldn't mention names. We see other regions benefiting from good structures, good networking, good plugs, everywhere. I don't want to mention it because people
that
do
go.
They
are doing.
No, so you see, that's why I'm coming back to what Ekow was saying, that if the structures are placed well and the favors and everything is working, if a new artist is to come from like underground to mainstream, you don't need to ask certain permission to get to certain places.
Right, like I get where I won't say that I don't like this person.
Yes,
that is it.
I will come back to our sister country. Their structures are in place, investments are working, a new artist will come, the market is there, the numbers are there to follow. The person puts out 1 or 2 songs, it goes. The question is, why is it not happening here? So part of what I have mentioned is part of the structures. So these networking, it has to be more in Ghana. But then I want to find out, most often for artists, do you think the artist should be the one doing the networking or the manager should be going out to do the networking?
I think it's both. Yeah, I think it's both because there are certain places that the artist cannot be there.
Okay.
There are certain places that the manager cannot be there. I have a team that I work with. Sometimes I go to a place and then I meet people. You know, there are people who have heard your name, but seeing it makes it different.
Right.
You know, oh, so you are Ekow Saxx. You get it. Now I am there. So even if the person is trying to work with me, maybe they want me to play on their song or something, and they are not reaching out, it hasn't gotten to my doorstep yet. Already they have started the process. They are in the process. The procedure is there. Right? So they meeting me is more like it gives about 40% surety because the face-to-face interaction also solidifies the bonding, which is all part of the networking benefits.
Yeah. But how did this whole saxophone thing start for you? Yes. Like, how did the journey start for you? Is it that someone discovered you or your talent was there, you started playing your instrument, you're like, I'm going in for this. How did it start for you?
Okay, so I went to Fans Film School.
Okay.
And then I went to Fans Film School. And when I was in school, there was only one guy who happened to be the domestic head boy.
Okay.
So he was one of the people we call Hafko. So his parents bought him the saxophone. So we had this club called the Drama Club.
Yeah.
And then we used to have events. So he started rehearsing for a drama club event because all the Holy Child girls and all the gay girls and all those boys, you know, Phantom boys love those things. Yeah, shout out to Phantom boys. Yeah. So, I mean, that was the first time I saw. This was 2011.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, that was the closest time I had seen a saxophone.
Yeah.
I finished school 2011, then I went to visit one of my uncles in Kumasi. So on the streets of Edum, I see a billboard with a saxophone. I didn't know much about it. So I went in there and I said, oh, I want to buy this thing. I asked the guy, after 2011, he says, 8 million. So luckily for me, my dad gave me money. So I think it was about 300 cedis, that's 3 million. So I went to withdraw that money. I bought him, so Jack, I 3 million. I said, oh, no, I'm so here. So I go back, I had a BlackBerry Storm 1. I took my memory card and then my SIM card and I sold the phone.
Yeah.
Then I bring back the money. I got about 200 cedis and I added. And I had to even, me bottom skin now, you get it. So when I got back and I gave the money to the guy, he saw that I was really, really aggressive.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten that I had cleared my account. So I go to this guy, he gives it to me. Then I walk about almost 1.5 kilometers and I realize that, hey, I don't have money to pick a car. So I have to trek back. I come, this guy insults me and then he gives me 5 cedis. Now, it took me 3 days to learn how to fix the saxophone. It took me another 3 days to learn how to make a sound. Meanwhile, I was starving. My dad wanted to buy the saxophone for me when I get to uni, but I wanted to play before I get to uni.
Get to uni.
Yeah, and that was how I started. Then I saw this spoken word event, Halakasa. So I started as an in-house saxophonist. Then I got my first TV interview, and that was it. So people hear you, and then they see you. They're like, "Oh, Charlie, let's go and do this." And by that time, you know, you just started. So the zeal is that you want to be everywhere, you know. But it's been a
good journey,
yeah.
Yeah. Asi,
before we come to Asi, we are going for a quick commercial break. You're still watching Entertainment TV on Metro TV. Stay tuned for more.
Break. We still have Asi here and Ekow Saxx. We're wrapping up on our conversation with them, and then our next guest comes through. Asi, during the break we're talking about where you've been and blah blah. You're back with a bang, a new one. What's it called?
I'll be there.
Oh, you'll be there for him.
No, but I'll be there for all of you guys that have missed me. I'll be there for all of you guys.
What do you want to achieve with this project? What's the goal like?
I'll be there is really just me and all my feelings, putting it out, my growth, experimenting on my sound. I think I'm doing more of that lately, just even my tone, just to see what comes out of it. It's exciting. I'm actually excited.
Okay. So, are we expecting that event you had last year? Something pillows and mats.
I'm actually.
I really wanted to come.
It's actually at the end of the month, so I'm actually excited because I haven't performed in a bit. So it's like
for this, I'll be there.
Please be there.
I will be
if
there.
you're not dancing. If you're not dancing.
I will be there.
You will be there.
As long as I'll be there, right?
Yes, so we will be there.
I'll be there. I'll be there. That's nice, and it's on all the platforms, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Go enjoy it. Trust me, you'll love the voice. Asi's voice.
Oh, the voice is deep. I don't know why.
This one is not really like any fiction or anything. It's a personal.
Yeah.
life
Everything I write about is a personal. It has happened to me.
She's deep.
Deep like that.
She'll be there, Ekow. I mean, I just heard that you were the one who did the Melissa.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Not only the Melissa, a lot.
Oh, but I mean, for Melissa, it's iconic.
Yes.
The saxophone playing there is. Anyway.
And there's Call on Me by Lord Pepper or something like that.
I've done quite a number of projects. I mean, he mentioned about Kwesi. So any song that comes from ground up that has a saxophone.
Oh, you did play?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And it's all as a result of networking. I met Kiso one day. He was like, "Oh, Charlie, I like your vibe."
Then that's it.
That's it. It's been like that.
Yeah, you're going to South Africa.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
Oh, so now they say I'm a piano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think I was there previously, like 2019. I happened to represent Ghana with a band for music in Bizo. By then, I didn't even used to like I'm a piano. We're doing live band like jazz, Afrobeats, and all that with Sue and the Anansi band. Now I come back and then I see that everywhere you go, people are,
you're doing the dance, yeah.
So I happened to pay attention to it, and I'm somebody that I'm able to create melodies on the spot.
Okay.
So I delved into it, and it's been an awesome thing. Now I can say that if you're talking about piano events in Accra, Ghana.
Get up.
Yes. I've happened to work with most of their artists, like even when they came, Focalistic, like this, Focalistic, and a lot of them. So we are looking forward to establishing more.
What sounds like that?
Yeah. I actually have a project that's coming.
Okay, we're waiting for that. What it drops, just let us know.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And you should come back here.
Yeah,
and
come
I
back.
see you also come back. Also, you've been here twice. Now it has to be 3, 4.
She's a homegirl.
Yes,
She's a
I
homegirl. So
am.
thank you so much, Asi and Ekow Saxx, for coming.